Hi guys, welcome to Tarot in the Dark. My name is Tori. Tonight we're going to do a timeless pick a card. The topic is going to be, why am I here? So the other day I was doing a reading, and during the reading I heard, why am I here? And I was like, okay, that's our next topic, is why am I here? So some of you may be wondering why you're here, what you're supposed to do here, what's your purpose, your mission, what is it that spirit and your ancestors, your guides want you to know in regards to your life purpose. So the intention is that by the time we end your reading, we're going to do 3 piles, that you will have a clue as to where you can begin or start to begin to complete or initiate your mission. I don't want to say complete, it's more of an initiation into your purpose, your mission, your calling, and why you're here. Okay, guys? So let's just dig in. I don't need to talk too much for pile number 1. Whoa. Okay. Pile number 1. These cards are huge, so I have a hard time shuffling them, if you can't tell. My hands are not that big. Ooh, look at this. Pile number 1, solar plexus chakra. Radiant illumination. Oh my god, that is beautiful. This is the Lumeria deck that I'm using, guys. Wow, pile number 2. Water with the overflow. Oh my gosh, guys, these energies are spectacular. I love them. For pile number 3, why are they here? Wow, you guys can see, but this flew out. Whoa, unique gifts. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, now I'm excited. So let's see if we can zoom in. If you have headphones in, I highly recommend that you power them down, turn them down. Don't power them off, guys. Just turn them down. Because the sound bowl will get kind of loud. So I'm going to zoom in so that you can see the cards. Wow. These are beautiful. Alrighty. I would recommend taking a deep breath in as I tune the sound bowl. Just closing your eyes, taking a deep breath in as I tune the sound bowl. And then when the sound goes off, I would recommend opening your eyes and selecting the card that you're most drawn to. Heads up on the clock right now, it's 555. So this why am I here reading is about a change. It's a shift is what I heard. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and I'm going to stop talking. We have pile 1, 2, and 3. Feel free to open your eyes and select your pile, and I'll see you on the other side. Hi, pile number 1. If you chose the solar plexus chakra, this is the reason why you're here. So, your purpose has to do a lot with reestablishing balance, returning back to your true identity, and kind of an exploration. I'm seeing like Dora the Explorer. And the very interesting thing is, before I started your reading, I started to question like my identity, who I was, what am I doing? Should I even be doing this reading right now? Guys, that never happens when I'm starting a reading. It was because of your energy, and I heard them say very, very clearly, that's the energy of pile number 1. For a lot of you, you are obviously here because you want to know why you're here, right? You're questioning, you're challenged by your authenticity, trying to find your truest identity, trying to reconnect back to yourself, but there's a disconnect. And that's coming through very heavily. There's a disconnect in the way that you show up in the world versus the way that you truly desire to show up in the world. And this has something to do with a lack of personal identity and stability. So for some of you, you may have had some traumatic experiences occur in your life that have led you to like a loss of identity. It's almost like an identity theft theme that they're kind of giving me. For others of you, you may have grown up people pleasing, always seeking to validate others and to find validation in others, but maybe we're extremely challenged with finding that validity within yourself. And so the reason why you're here has a lot to do with realigning your own personal power. The solar plexus is about your personal will, the power, the way that you show up in the world. Okay. So if I were to think of the chakras and like as a house, to me, the solar plexus is the way that you see yourself when you look in the mirror. So you know how oftentimes, and including myself for years, I had the hardest time looking in the mirror, and I didn't even realize like why I didn't want to look in the mirror. I think I just kind of acted like, and when I say that, I mean like actually looking in the mirror to see yourself, not what you're putting on, not your hair, your makeup, your lashes, more so like looking in the mirror and seeing yourself, not when you're putting on your tie and you're adjusting it to make sure that it's appropriate. This is looking in the mirror to see the version of you that no one else sees but you and God, your team, guide, spirit, right? So for some of you, you may be challenged even today to do that. And a part of that is the reason that you're here. You're here to reverse some type of trauma embedded in your inability to truly be your authentic self, to actually take action towards the things that you desire. So let me just preface with this, guys. I should have said this at the beginning. This is not the only reason why you're here, okay? You could be here for several reasons, and this can also shift as energy shifts, as energy transmutes, as you grow and transition into your higher self, right? Your reason for being here is going to adjust and shift as you will as well. Right now, this is the reason why you're here, okay? So you're here so that you can reconnect back to yourself. And for some of you, you may find yourself like dealing with a lot of anger issues. They're deeply rooted in fear is what I'm hearing. Okay, so there's something about your reason for being here, overcoming fear, overcoming anger that's deeply rooted in fear. The solar plexus can also deal with control. They're showing me the Emperor in the reverse. And so in this, they're saying that the reason why you're here right now is to regain control of what you have control over. Something about reversing the idea of controlling the outcome, the narrative, and instead adapting to the idea that you have control over how easy it is. They're saying the ease of it, okay? So how easy it can become based on your resistance or assistance. It's interesting. I'll read the guidebook for this at the end. I typically like to just intuitively pick up on what I'm seeing. I'm feeling a lot of pain, like all of a sudden, like heartbreak pain, a lot of sorrow, like grief, sadness. It is showing up in the form of anger. Like the version of grief right now is anger. And it has to do with something that was like, they're showing me someone cry blood, like tears of blood. For a lot of you, this fear, the desire to control, the unmet expectations have caused a lot of internal fear, conflict, and tension that has led you to lose your identity. Okay? So the reason why you're here is to heal this, to recover from this. The pain, the long suffering is what I'm hearing. The endurance, the things that you've had to overcome and push through. I don't think you've overcome them. Whoever this group is for, you haven't necessarily overcome these things. You may find yourself dealing with trying to figure out how to recover and overcome, but that hasn't happened for you yet. Why you're here right now is to focus on healing, is to again recover and regain your own sense of self. So if this sounds like this resonates with you, let's keep going. For someone watching their showing, it could be someone's watching their showing, that you've started this journey. Imagine that you need to make a square, right? They're showing this here at the bottom. So it's almost like you initiate the healing. You initiate taking back your power. You initiate taking action, and then you may stop because it may become too heavy. The pain may be too much to bear. And so you stop, and they're saying your mission right now, your purpose right now is to bring these things to resolution. And I'm hearing someone say, how? This illumination is a big part of this. They're telling me that the illumination, radiant illumination is calling out the fact that these things that are causing you pain need to be illuminated. It's almost like you're needing to assist them in breaking free. See, this pain is trapped in this bubble here, and it's a bubble of fear. It's a bubble that's deeply rooted in sadness and grief, and this bubble needs to be burst. The way to burst it is to bring it to illumination, exposing it, bringing it into the light. You notice that as the light gets so bright here, you can't even see the top here. They're saying this is what needs to happen to these fears, the lack of power and will that you actually are possessing in your current state by not actually operating in the acting of going after the things that you desire. That's trapped here. That needs to be burst open so that you can bring it into the light. And in the light, you'll notice that things begin to shift for you. So that's just the beginning of this. So let's see. For pile number 1, why are they here? Okay. Way too many. We had alchemist, healer, the athlete, and the hedonist. Wow. Wow. Okay, let's see if we can get one card. Clearly your guides want to talk and help and support you. Ancestors are present. I'm hearing Archangel Michael here. Wow, I love this. Look at the bottom of the deck, guys. You have the Destroyer. Releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for a new life. The shadow attributes are intoxication with destructive patterns and destroying others' dreams or potential. Yours is the intoxication with destructive power. Okay, so there's something within you, which is, again, sounds like it's deeply rooted in fear, that's preventing you from actually operating in the power that you have. It's interesting that they're bringing out this father card because we've been doing a lot of readings on the father wound. And so those may be beneficial to you if you feel fit to watch them. Feel free to. There's episode 1, 2, and 3. So there were 2, EP 1 and 2. And then there's a pick a card for how your specific father wound is affecting you. And I highly would recommend that considering this card came out. Okay, so the father wound is about, in the light attributes, talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit. Wow. And then the shadow attributes are dictatorial control and abuse of authority. Okay, so right away what I'm picking up on for pile number 1 is that the reason why you're here is you're here to release the control that, especially with the father wound, you're here to release the control that you are responsible for everything, that you are going at this alone. Okay. They're speaking very clearly and saying that you feel like you are the only one who's capable of doing it the right way. I don't know what it is, but hopefully you do. But that you feel as if you're the only one that can do it the right way, and that's hindering your ability to create and connect bonds that are authentic and that are collectively supportive to you and the other parties. There's something about being misguided. So I'm not sure if you have a father wound. If so, like I said, you can watch those readings. More than likely you do. I think we all do. But if you have a father wound that you're aware of or interested in digging into a little further, you may notice that that father wound impacts your ability to take action. So if your father was one who didn't show up for you, there's like they showed this in the very first reading, I believe, there's a teeter-totter effect. If you have a father wound, what your father was not able to do, you tend to take on, and that becomes like a burden or something that you carry. Almost like it's given to you, and then now you're incapacitated. Right now you're incapable of taking action, and it's because this wound needs to be resolved and healed in just not just you, but in your bloodline, that brings resolution to the inability to take your personal power back. Now, when we talk about the solar plexus, is to me, it's not necessarily the same thing as like taking your power back in the way that people in the spiritual community talk about that. Now, to me, the solar plexus, and this being your personal power, your will, your ability to move towards what you desire, for me specifically, is about you taking action towards your desires. So this means establishing a connection to yourself where you feel worthy and deserving, to where you align with the things that you are worthy and deserving of. So this means for me, like, you're no longer allowing yourself to be put second. You're returning as the main character. You're not putting yourself as like just an extra in the movie. You're like, this life is my movie, and I'm the one who's gonna be front and center. And I think a lot of times in spiritual community, like, take your power back was like, well, what does that mean? This is a part of it, but taking your power back to me is a collective of activities and events and opportunities to challenge yourself, to push yourself. This is a part of it. This is like the chariot for me. In the solar plexus is like, how are you going to actually move? When you look in that mirror and you see that, hey, you know what? I need to correct this within myself. I notice that I keep trying to control. I notice that I feel isolated and abandoned. And, I feel like I'm going at life alone all the time. Even though I may have support, I still feel that way. Well, then when you see what's in the mirror, are you going to correct it? I mean, if you put lipstick on and lipstick is at your ear, are you going to leave that there? Or are you going to walk outside with that lipstick near your ear? And so that's the solar plexus, is like, yes, I can have these wounds. I can see these wounds, but what am I going to do with them? Am I going to allow them to sit stagnant in my energy and act like they don't exist, or am I going to take action? And the father is also representative of, action. Masculine energy is about doing. So I love that this comes out with the solar plexus chakra, because your team is asking, are you going to create a supportive life for yourself? Or are you going to continue to try to control by misusing the authority that you have? For a lot of you, you are purposed or have a mission in life to assist and support those via like teaching, like philosophical careers, things like that. There's something in you that has a knack for, you just have a natural ability to help others to be able to understand. But if you don't take action for yourself, then there's no way that you're going to be able to get others in the boat. I heard the gift of gab. I don't know what that means, because typically I wouldn't think that's something positive. I don't think. I've never heard anybody use it in that fashion, like a positive way. But yeah, there's something here about the gift of gab. So something in your voice, the way that you communicate, something like that is coming through. Why is pile number 1 here? Okay. Wow, I love this. I love this. Taurus, I have with the Hierophant, stay true to your values. Okay? I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. Because let me tell you what this is about. The first house Aries energy is about looking in the mirror and examining yourself, right? The I am energy, figuring out who you are. And then once you move into the second house, which is Taurus energy, the card we have here, this is about, can you take that energy of figuring out who you are and actually implement it in everyday life? Can you act on whatever that is, whatever it is? Because what happens, and what they're showing me here in this card, is what happens is, again, you especially with Taurus coming out, you may have a little bit of stubborn energy where you get stuck, where you're not completing these, like you won't bring it to the end. And it's because you feel trapped or inadequate when you get partially, like when you say, for example, you're running a mile on a track at school. You have to run around 4 times to equal a mile. You go around once and then you're just like, oh, forget it. Like, either this is too hard, I don't want to do this, or your energy is like, I'm just over this. Taurus energy can show up as, it doesn't say it on this card, but Taurus energy can show up as like the 5 of Pentacles energy of feeling like sorrowful, like kind of pitying yourself. I don't know how else to say it, but that's what it is, guys. I have to be honest with you. But it's like you could show up as like a victimization, like victimizing yourself because maybe you didn't have a father. Like, not everybody has a father, but maybe your father wasn't able to show up for you, and that father wound could really be impacting you to this day, because you could have been left with this like hole in your heart, and that could lead you to this place to where you are not able to stay true to your values and don't really know yourself, because the Hierophant is very much aware of himself. He's a spiritual teacher, leader, but he's also one that others look up to. And so for you, it's like you have this hidden knowledge, wisdom embedded within you, but you can't get you out of the way first in order to be able to step into assisting and supporting others. And the Hierophant is a teacher, which I think I mentioned that a few minutes ago, that you have the energy of someone who's meant to teach others, right? And so you may find yourself feeling like you don't have, right? Like, I'm lacking the ability to push through to the other side because I'm lacking, because that's the Taurian energy, is the lack. I'm incapable. Why is this my life? That's a Taurus energy when it's in its shadow attributes. And it can become erratic at time because it is very misunderstanding of not getting its own way. Okay, so like in Aries energy, the first house energy is a baby. And then Taurian energy would be like a toddler. So imagine a toddler who wants a toy and doesn't get it. You may find yourself operating in that energy. And if you do, let me just tell you, you're not alone, because I absolutely am guilty of that. However, the reason why you're here is to recover from that. The reason why you're here is to become balanced in a more practical way, to be able to take action towards the things that you desire in a very tangible way, okay? Because Taurian energy is tangible. It's not separated from your ability to like touch and feel. Tangible is something obviously that you can touch and feel. So your Taurian energy is screaming at you and saying the reason why you're here is to be able to touch these things that are you, right? To be fully aware of who you are and operate from that space. It's like you're here to reverse the identity crisis that you've been in, because you feel like maybe you don't have an identity, and that's what you're here for right now, is to heal your identity wounds. And this has something to do with, I'm confident now, your father wound. I'm pretty sure that you have a father wound, a deeply rooted, deeply embedded father wound that is affecting your ability to truly show up as your authentic self. Okay. So you have the bouquet. And this is just showing up as, wow, this is almost like given like a Queen of Cups energy. So this is the Lenormand deck. I never pick up that from this card. Let me tell you. The flowers are not typically like the Queen of Cups card, but that's what they're showing me. So for you, the reason why you're here is to learn how to nurture yourself. Your purpose right now is to learn how to give to yourself what others failed to give. It's almost like they're saying that they're asking you to work on untying the knots that others have kinked up in you. Okay. You know how you get like perfect example. Thank you, team. When I go on my purse, I have those Apple headphones, the white corded ones that come with the phones. I have some of those in my purse. Every time I pull them out, they are in knots, never ending knots. And it's just like, why are these always knotted up? Okay. So for you, others, most likely your father, more than likely your father wound has caused knots. And it's not just the father wound, because I was experiencing a ton of grief in here, but it's going to initiate with the father wound being healed and you recovering from that. So with this father wound, you have been challenged with knots yourself, knots within your energy. Like there's a ton of knots just in your energy in general is what I'm seeing. And these knots were given to you so that you could untie them and gain an understanding of how to nurture yourself so that you can then take this back and teach others. Okay, so you may have some type of a mission or a purpose with like being a doula or something like that that's coming through very heavily, a midwife, something like that. It's almost like you're the teacher and the assistant of supporting people to regain their own identities after it was stolen and robbed through the theft of wounds. But it's going to start with you. It's going to start with you flowering yourself. They're telling me that for you, the best starting place is going to be you treating yourself as you would a seed. So when you plant a seed, that seedling, it's a seed and then it turns into a seedling. It needs to be nurtured. It needs sunshine. So they're saying get out in the sun, literally, like this stuff is literal for you. Get out in the sun, water yourself, make sure that you have plenty of fresh air. Okay, they're saying that there's something significant for you in regards to outside air and the sun. They're saying that the moon, this is interesting, I've never even channeled anything like this before. Okay, pile number one, so work with me. But they're saying that the moon for you is going to be depressing. So you may notice that at nighttime you have a harder time with this energy. You may have a harder time believing in yourself. You may be taunted or like kind of traumatized in your dreams when you go to bed at night. When you're trying to rest, you may notice that your mind is constantly spinning. I'm seeing a lot of energy. I'm feeling a ton of energy in my head right now. So you may feel like you're getting attacked in the evening time when the moon is present. but the sunlight is going to almost revitalize you. It's going to revive you and restore you. Okay, so they're saying that the nighttime may be challenging, but to remind yourself that joy comes in the morning. But you have to treat yourself as you would treat a plant. Water yourself. So this is just indicative of taking care of yourself. Your health, they're telling me health is wealth. Okay. But your health is going to be significant. I'm going to put that there. And being able to reparent yourself. So this father wound is coming back around with this, what I'm seeing as a Queen of Cups. And it's like they're saying that, maybe you weren't treated. Okay, they're showing me a father taking his daughter like flowers on her 16th birthday. And they're saying, do that with yourself. You're going to have to reverse everything that was negatively given to you. Not everything as in literally everything, but you're going to have to reverse the things that were negatively done to you by giving yourself positives. Okay, so it's like refilling yourself, replant yourself. Imagine that you've been planted in soil, and this recently happened with me. I had a bunch of plants, and they had those little stupid gnat bugs in them, so I had to take that soil, dump the whole thing out, and I had to replant several of my plants in new soil, clean soil, fresh soil. They're saying that's what you're gonna want to do with yourself. So it's almost like a throwing out the old ideas, thoughts, mindset that you've been carrying that has been self-doubting, self-defeating, self-loathing, and replace it with an identity that is one that is nurturing, that's caring for oneself, that is able to not sacrifice your own needs for the sake of everything else, but start prioritizing yourself. Again, bring yourself back to the main character position so that you're not taking the back seat. And this is not about like, oh, I'm going to be a teacher. I have this huge calling. I have to get myself there. They're making that very clear, and I don't know why they're bringing that up, but okay. They're saying that this is not about you controlling how fast this happens, how it happens. They're saying that this has everything to do with you stopping and pouring into yourself. They're showing me the star card. That's Aquarian energy. They're saying stop and pour into yourself. Just stop and smell the roses. Give yourself some tender love and care, some TLC. You're here right now. What am I trying to say? You're here right now, pile number one, to love yourself more. To learn to love yourself, to find the value within you, because Taurian energy too is about valuables. It can be about material things, money, things that you have, but it's the things that you actually experience. Wow, guys, and you have the ancestry card here. And my video cut off, so okay, something definitely I think that they mentioned this earlier in regards to you doing this for not only yourself, but your bloodline. What I was picking up on when I was trying to reconnect the video and get the camera situated again was that you probably have some challenges on your father's side of the family with actually being able to heal wounds, recover, and it seems to be stemming from an inability to commit to oneself, to nurture oneself, to put like yourself first. Your father may have been an addict of some sort. Your father may have had challenges being committed to anything, maybe relationships, to their children, to you, obviously, if you're one of their children, but something like that is coming through. And this is a generational wound that you, my friend, are here to heal. I love this for you. I love this. So what they were saying was that in order for you to be able to do this, you're going to have to shift your perspective, okay? And this is why they really want you to like pour into yourself. They want you to nurture yourself. They're showing this as they want you to take like stepping stones, okay? Like basically they're saying that they are going to, your ancestors are going to drop nuggets of wisdom, nuggets of information for you along the path. But what they're asking you to do is not quit. Okay? Like you can't start and not finish. You can, but they're asking you to stop. They're asking you to please stop starting and not finishing, because at the center of this, the center of you completing this, it's like the completion is at the center. And at the center of this reason why you're here is your like golden ticket. It's the light that you've been seeking. It's the joy. It's the opportunities that you're, desiring. It's your ability to be able to communicate effectively, to be able to draw in your tribe, and to be able to connect to those who are like-minded individuals. Okay, for some of you too, this could also be access to romance with the flowers here and the gift, but this is absolutely a message from your ancestors as to why you're here. And you're here to heal your father wound and to heal your bloodline, specifically on your father's side of the family. Now I feel like the camera is all crooked. I'm sorry. That's powerful. It's almost like they're showing up too with that Queen of Cups energy that I'm seeing in the flowers here, as like you being the gift that was created, grown from that plant, the seed. Like you're the seed that will develop into the plant that helps to heal the toxins that are in your family on this side. Specifically, they keep bringing up your father's side of the family, so there's something very specific there. I wonder if you know your father, if you know his family, and if you know of any type of patterns. They keep saying addictive patterns, so I wonder if you know of any addictive patterns that prevented your father and other individuals in his family, or in your family too, obviously, from being able to really like take steps towards the things that they wanted to do in life. Wow. Wow, guys, this can't get any more. I'm going to take these two more. This can't get any. Wow. Aquarian energy again. I swear, if you don't have Aquarius in your chart, I don't know. I don't know, friend. Somebody has Aquarius in their chart, because there's so much Aquarian energy. And I love this. I love this because you know what? This is like fantastic. Some people will look at these cards and be like, oh, the Three of Swords, the Two of Swords. Typically we look at these things, we're like, no, we don't want those. But these are actually awesome energies, and I'll tell you why. So first thing here is the Nine of Pentacles. Then you have the King of Wands, the Three of Swords, the Six of Cups, the Two of Swords, and the Chariot. So I want to make sure I go over these. The Ace of Cups, you'll notice, is at the bottom of the deck. Oh, with the Hangman. Let's totally take these. Okay, let's take these. We have space. And then you have the Ten of Cups at the bottom of the deck. You notice that? That's interesting, because the bottom deck energy is typically the overarching energy of the reading. It's the subconscious energy for me, and the energy that tends to be hidden, but it's the elephant in the room, right? It's hidden in plain sight. And so this Ten of Cups energy is saying that this is about your family. It's some type of family wound that is preventing you from being able to find fulfillment in life. And this reason why you're here is to heal this wound so that you can find freedom and return to joy. Okay? The Nine of Pentacles is all about being able to enjoy the life that has been offered. Typically, people see this card as working and then being able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So I'm an intuitive tarot reader. I don't necessarily believe that the cards mean what the books tell me when I'm reading, because that's just not the way that it's supposed to work in my mind. Anyways, for me, at least, that's all I'm talking about is me. What they're saying here in this Nine of Pentacles for you is that this is about you actually being able to embrace your authenticity by means of you operating, like learning yourself. So the work for you is not necessarily what it would typically traditionally stand for, as in go out and do work, get things done in order for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Like, like go to a job, build a business, right? It's not that for you. You can do that, but for you, the reason why you're here is for you to work on and build and establish your identity, your authentic self, the truest, highest self, the version of you that is most aligned to spirit, your ancestors, and your guides. That is why you're here, pile number one. To align yourself with, right here, I'm going to go here. Thank you, team. They're like, go to the next card. To align yourself with confidence, with resilience, with power, with strength, with dignity. To clothe yourself with honor so that you can show up in this world feeling like you are supposed to be present. Because a lot of you have the energy in the cards, it's reading and it's feeling energetically like you stay so trapped in your, this is not a word, I don't think, insignificances. That's how I'm hearing it. But it's like you find yourself trapped in your, the things that you see as being insignificant, invaluable, okay? That's that Taurian energy of like finding yourself trapped and engulfed in not being worthy, good enough, deserving, capable, or able. They're saying that you're here to resolve and heal that. You're here to move past heartbreak, past pain, and this does not mean get over it. I would never say that. Even if they told me to, I would not. I'll be like, you guys sure you want me to say that, bro? Because that's crazy. I don't like that. I've been told basically like, won't you get over it? And it drives me nuts. So I would never tell you that. But your team is saying that you're here to heal heartbreak. The Chariot is about moving forward, to progress forward. This Nine of Pentacles energy is about moving forward. It's about progression. The King of Wands never sits stagnant on anything. He's going to take action. And right now is actually the perfect time for this because we are in Aries season. And in Aries season, there's always a heightened energy for me in particular where I feel like I can actually get stuff done. And so you may be feeling that too. You're also being asked to move beyond the past, the flaws of the past. So the flaws of your father, the wounds of any masculine energies is what I'm hearing specifically right now. They're saying that other masculine energies may have impacted you negatively, may have caused heartache, heartbreak, pain. Could have been challenges in a love life with the Ace of Cups here. They're saying that you're here to move beyond this, to nurture yourself, to learn how to establish an identity and heal your lineage, pile number one. This is powerful as heck. I did not know that we were going to go this deep. The Hanged Man is here to signify a shift in perspective is going to be necessary in order for this to happen. So for the Hangman, this is showing up as, you know, sometimes we get so comfortable in the uncomfortable that we get stuck. The Hangman doesn't do anything. He typically is just kind of trapped here. And he gets trapped here as Piscean energy. I'm a Pisces, so I get this. He gets trapped here because he just feels like it's just a lot. He's like, you know what? It's too much. I don't want to have to deal with it. On top of that, he's comfortable being uncomfortable. He's like, I'm fine hanging upside down from this tree. I've been hanging here, so it's fine. I'll stay here. When the reality of it is it's clouding his perspective. He's so uncomfortable. You know, you tip upside down like this, you're going to have a rush of blood in your head. And at some point, it's almost like going to feel like it'll explode. And so for you, you may have been so uncomfortable for so long that you often feel like you're going to explode. And a shift in your perspective is going to be required in order to move you past this. And the perspective shift that is going to be asked of you is to shift the idea that you're stuck. The Two of Swords can show up as a stalemate energy. It can show up as a stubborn energy that is unwilling to shift and adjust. You'll notice that she has these two swords and she has a blindfold on her. Who would be sitting in their emotions with a blindfold on them and swords in their hands. So what this is indicative of is you may find yourself sitting in and wallowing in the energy of grief, sadness, anguish, turmoil, depression, anxiety, overwhelm, feeling like you are unable to actually purge yourself of the things that have happened to you. Guys, this Two of Swords energy is an energy that I personally know all too well. And it's the energy of, I want to get out of this, yet I don't know how to get out of this because I'm comfortable in the pain. I'm comfortable in the hurt. And without the hurt, I can't imagine what my life would look like. I can't imagine seeing happiness, feeling happiness, experiencing happiness when I've had so much disappointment. I can't imagine what it's like to illuminate all of the things that have happened to me and to be determined to not quit, because that's what the Chariot is. The determination to not quit. The will, this is also solar plexus energy too. The will, the power, the authority to say, come hell or high water, I refuse to not see the bigger picture as to why I'm here. I refuse to just leave my lineage, my children, if they're not here, my children to come, the rest of my team, my family, I refuse to let them down. And if I have to utilize them to find my way back to myself, then so be it. But I'm determined not to quit. That's why you're here, pile number one. To be determined not to quit and to not give up on yourself first, and secondly, your lineage. Your reason for being here is bigger than you. And I think up until now, per the cards here, it's showing up that you haven't taken much into consideration outside of yourself. And that may be offensive for someone. But I'll tell you that anyone who truly wants to heal has a moment in their life where they have to accept accountability for what they are missing when it comes to others. So often, especially as we move into this age of Aquarius, I notice this coming up more and more. And I notice this in my life becoming a bigger and bigger and bigger theme. We're not going to be allowed to sit in the energy of selfishness where we are self-absorbed and consumed with what's only going on in our houses. The age of Aquarius is calling each and every one of us, like I said, including me. So if you have been sitting in the energy of paying attention to just you and your household, just know that you're not alone. Like I said, even myself, I have been pushed to do more and more outside of myself. More and more, even if it's just a thought right now, guys. As a whole, we as the world are going to be shifted into the Aquarian mindset, the light attributes of the Aquarian mindset, where we're going to have to start thinking of things and people outside of ourselves. The blessing in this is that if your team is showing you this, then you have everything in you to be able to get to this. You're just being asked to get out of the way. You're preventing yourself from having the life that you truly desire. You're preventing yourself from having the money, the finances, the stability, the joy, the connections, the partnerships, the love, the fulfillment, the light. You're preventing yourself from having all of this. And it's because of fear. The moon is at the bottom of the deck here. Your worry and your anxiety are interfering with, and mind you, this is the same moon that's in the Two of Swords. Your worry and your anxiety are clouding your ability to walk in your authenticity. You're here to heal the father wound for your lineage. That's powerful. If you don't think that you have a purpose, My God. I would think again, pile number 1. It's powerful for your ancestors to choose you. Because trust me, there are others that they could have chosen. It is powerful for them to look at you, to see you through the lens of being the one who can unlock these doors for endless potential for your team, for your group, your family. That's powerful. But it's going to call for you pouring into yourself. And they're showing in this Ace of Cups that first for you, it's going to be about pouring into the self. And in doing so, you're going to have to receive the love from God. So your initiation point, your starting point is going to be to receive love from God. And in doing so, use that love that God is offering you, that Spirit is offering you as your Father to pour into you. That's interesting. So it's almost like they're saying to see Spirit through the lens of a father and love yourself with that. Again, gift yourself with things. Even if it's these tulips, right? Gift yourself the gift of love, happiness, fulfillment. Find something that is colorful when you feel the clouds and the weight of this is heavy. But these are stepping stones for you. You're moving through this journey one step at a time, one thing at a time. And I want to go back to this. I want to go back to this Destroyer card here. Releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for a new life. This is almost like a bridge. Oh my God, I just noticed this. Intoxication with destructive power. That can be addictive patterns. Intoxication with destructive powers, things that are going to be destructive to you, is a part of your father wound. This could be an ancestral wound where maybe individuals find themselves intoxicating themselves with things that are destructive. And this includes the mindset of I'm stuck, I'm not enough, I'm incapable, nothing's ever going to change for me. Whew. Okay, God. So let's just read the solar plexus card and we'll close your reading out, pile number 1. Okay, I'm just going to read the top section here and then I'll let you screenshot if you want to read the rest, okay? So this is the solar plexus chakra and this is radiant illumination. It's about your personal power, independence, wow, self-discipline, confidence, assertiveness, decision-making, belief, intellectual abilities, expression of will, and bringing ideas into reality. Wow. Your power and where you are putting your energy. Oh my gosh, this is so powerful. I hope you can screenshot that. Let me get my little nail out the way. Let's see if there's anything else. Nope, that's it. Just the one page for this. Okay, guys, I hope this resonates with you. I thank you for being present. I'm sorry, I know I offend people with my honesty, but I just can't lie. Love is truth for me. If I lie to you, that means I don't love you. So I am here to support you in any way that I can. I hope this resonated with you. Your energy is powerful. Once you get yourself out of the way, once you pop that bubble, which the bubble seems to be the resistance to seeing things differently, your life's going to shift, pile number 1. I hope this helps with why you're here. Beautiful energy. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Pile number 2. If you chose the water card with the overflow, this is why you're here. So just a little Just a little detail. I advised pile number 1 that, your energy can shift and change. Hopefully it does, right? As we're all growing and expanding. We hope that our energy would shift and change. And so does the reason why you're here. Because really, life is about choices and about decisions that we make that align us to either our destiny or continue us on the path to where we may have to circle back around to our destiny. There's never a wrong path. In my opinion, you're never on the wrong path. You're just, depending on your alignment with spirit and your team, you're either gonna kind of go like in this direction, or you may have to like curve a little bit. You may have some bumps. You may end up turning around, going in this direction, but there's never a wrong path. I think this has a lot to do with your specific reading, and I'll tell you why. When I was just meditating on the energy, I was receiving messages in regards to this having a lot to do with heart healing. Okay, now obviously the card here is water with the overflow. We will read this card at the end of the reading. We'll read the actual guidebook so we can see what it says, because it has some amazing information. But I do like to intuitively just pick up on the energy. And when I started your reading, I started to feel a little confused, and my heart was really like hurting in some seconds, and then a few seconds after that, it would go into like complete overwhelm, and then go back into kind of a grief, sadness type energy. Within my heart space specifically, I'm feeling that energy. It's my heart and my sacral chakra that I'm feeling the energy. So sometimes that can mean a few things. The reason why you're here could have something to do with healing some type of heartache in regards to some schmexual activities. These could have been unwarranted, unwelcomed activities. This could also have something to do, and forgive me if this is triggering, this could also have something to do with healing your relationship to love. Maybe there are parts of you that believe that schmexual activities equate to love. If something like, we mentioned a moment ago, unwelcomed, unwarranted, was done to you schmexually, then that could absolutely lead you to the belief that schmex equates to love. For others, that may not be the case for you. You may have some perspective in regards to schmexual matters and equating that to love. You may have had challenges in life with choosing partners, multiple partners in a search for love. And maybe you're realizing or going to realize that that's not actually what you're seeking. You're seeking fulfillment, complete wholeness within your heart space. Okay, so your reason for being here has to do with a healing of your heart space and aligning yourself to the path that you desire, that you're destined for. This is a path that is embedded in overflow. They're telling me something in regards to this overflow, not necessarily just being in one specific realm. They're saying, they're given that word very specifically, the realm. I want to better understand that, so I'm asking for clarification, because a realm is an environment. Spiritually, there are realms, different areas, right? This could be a realm, this could be a realm, and this could be a realm. It's REALM. I'm hearing someone say, what is she saying? I know I have like a little lisp and a little, speech impediment, but it's a realm. Maybe a little hood in there, a little gangster. I'm gonna look up the definition of that, because I want to kind of just see what it actually says in the dictionary. Just heads up, it's 5:55 right now on the clock, guys. Let's see. Realm. Oh, a royal domain, a kingdom, So here we go. A region, sphere, or domain within which anything occurs, prevails, or dominates. A dimension, a field, so different spaces. Your overflow is not just in one area. Oh, territory, that's the perfect definition there. So your overflow does not just exist or will not exist in one area. The reason why you're here is to assist and support in, it's almost like this is how they're showing it. They're showing it as like you basically bottling up love, putting it into like imagine a sphere that's bottled up, right? There's a bottle of love, and it's almost like you're meant to go out and share that. That's very awesome. I love this already. Oh my gosh, that is so awesome, guys. Look at the arms here. I didn't even like put that together until I just looked down. Look at the arms. It's almost like you're the bearer of love. Like you okay, so they're showing me, what's that movie? It's a movie. I want to say it's a Pixar movie. I'm pretty sure it's some type of Disney Pixar movie. And it's basically like fire and water get together and they're dating and they go into like these different areas. It's almost like that's the energy of you. It's like a ball of something, or like inside out. So your reason for being here, the why you're here, is because you are meant to drop love. Okay, this is so awesome. It's almost like rain droplets. Like you have this abundance of love that was given to you. Like you're literally the gift of love, group number 2. This I've never seen things like this in my life. This is so amazing, guys. I'm sorry. I get really excited, so you might want to turn your volume down. I get really excited. I'm just blown away by this. They're showing me these huge raindrops of love. You know, water is emotion too. And it's like your reason for being here is to spread that love. The thing is that you first have to heal that love within you. So it's almost like there's a pouring down. They're showing like this vertical outpouring of love that you have to first receive from spirit. And then you're going to flow. You're going to have such an abundance and overflow that you are going to just naturally, without even realizing it, drop off these little nuggets or raindrops of love wherever you go. That's the reason why you're here. Oh my gosh, I could end your reading right here because, guys, if you resonate with this, you resonate with this, okay? Because you're the type of person that goes out and you just feel like people are drawn to you. You feel like people want to be around you. You're like, oh my God, I don't know why they like me. I don't know what I'm doing, but all these people freaking love me, right? And you're like, I'm not doing anything but being myself. Your energy feels like a very nurturing energy, like it's like a watery energy of like a mother. But it doesn't have to necessarily mean that you're a woman or a female, but you just have this feminine energy to you that makes people feel loved. Like it's like you just exude love out of your veins. Like this is amazing and it feels so beautiful. The caveat here is that you have like experienced such an abundance of hurt. And I think that there's a disconnect in the way that you have viewed love until now, they're saying. Until now. So during this reading, as they continue to just open up the overflow and abundance of the love that you have, to be able to provide it into these different realms, because that's what it is you have this overflow and this abundance of love so that you can drop it off into every territory that you visit. But in order for you to be able to do that, you first have to overfill your cup. And they're saying that this is going to start from within, but it's due to your connection to yourself that radiates into an alignment with spirit. Okay, so it's almost like, imagine you have this like cup right here. Imagine having like a clear cup. Oh, I could use this, okay? So we have the sound bowl here, right? It's probably some stuff in there, just ignore it. But imagine we have this sound bowl, and this sound bowl is you as a vessel. You have to focus on yourself first by pouring into you, loving on yourself, being able to nurture, massage, and it's almost like they're telling me something about an incubation period. It's almost like you have to go through this period of incubation in order for you to be filled. And I don't think you've gone through this yet. It doesn't even seem like you're really like aware of this specific reason as to why you're here. I think you probably are aware that I'm supposed to like spread love because I am light and love, right? Like you may understand that concept, but I don't think you realize that like that's the reason why you're here. And you may feel really drawn to like just loving people, encouraging people, motivating people, supporting people, giving people love that they didn't receive. You may feel drawn to that, but I'm not sure that you understand the big picture in that. So it's almost like you have like an understanding or a version of it, but I don't think you're fully aware of the expansiveness of this. You're not fully aware of the opportunities for you to overflow. Like you are not, from what I feel, you're not experiencing this overflow. And you're inquiring as to why you're here because you're like, I know I'm supposed to spread love, but what does that exactly mean? Like, how do I operate in that? And they're giving you the one thing about our team is they are always going to give us advice on how to support the mission, the purpose, right? To support the alignment is the best way to describe it. So for you, pile number 2, you are this container, this vessel. You are to pour into yourself to the point to where you feel overflowed with love. And deep down at the very bottom, they're showing there's a wound there. There's a wound that's surrounding your heart. Oh, it's almost like they're showing it as like a wooden fence, like around your heart. Why wooden? Because it's old. Oh, I've never seen anything like that. So they're showing a wooden fence. Imagine a fence that's in a backyard and it's wooden and it's wrapped around your heart. It's perfectly aligned. Like there are no gaps. And it's like different pieces. And they've almost become like, it looks like a stitching or like a blanket, a quilt. It's like they're quilted. These pieces of wood are quilted around your heart. They're saying that this wood is old. Not as in an age, it's ancient. It's a guarded, protective energy that has been present within you, upon you, and around your heart for a long time. Since you were young, they said. So this has to do with you healing that fence that's around your heart. Oh, they're saying it's a guard, but it's something that you're... Okay, so they're talking about perceiving like schmexual relationships as like love, seeing that as love, and how that could have plastered up this wood. I don't know how you could plaster wood, but that may be a thing. I don't know. But anyways, plastering up this wood around your heart. So it's almost like you intricately have, through your experiences in life, placed these layers of wood, because they look very neat, but there's like different sizes, shapes, textures, and they're like guarding and protecting. They're saying that the reason why they're guarding your heart is because you've been in protection mode. Oh, this is going to be about chopping that down, chopping the wood down. Oh, and they're saying that's why it's wood. Wood has to actually be broken and chopped up to be taken down. Sorry, I blew and there's dust in the sound bowl. That's deep, guys. The reason why you're here is to chop the wood that's been protecting you so that you can be freed. They're saying the wood is a boundary. The wood is a boundary, or boundaries, they're saying. The wood is boundaries that you've placed around your heart as a protective measure to prevent letting others in. But inadvertently, without realizing it, that wood is also preventing you from operating in your gifts. It's preventing you from being able to do what you were created to do, which is to share love, to express love, to almost exude the energy of love, to be love. There's something about you that is like literally love. It's like you don't have to do anything but be yourself, and you are love. You know, the amazing thing about love is God. Love is spirit. The divinity of God is love. Everything connected to spirit, source, the divine is love. Pile number 2. So you are like a spitting image of the divine, but you're not seeing it because your heart has wood around it. And the only way to get through wood is to chop it down, to break it down, to bulldoze it. There's something aggressive about those things. Bulldozing, chopping, breaking. There's something aggressive in that. It's almost like they're asking you to be aggressive about breaking down the barriers to you being able to access your authenticity, because these pieces of wood are preventing you from overflow. In addition, it's preventing you from being able to spread yourself in the spheres, the territories that your team and spirit is asking you to go out into. Your energy is beautiful. It's very pure. There's something like very tender, kind, loving, and gentle about your spirit, your energy. Honestly, it's given me like this energy of my mom. My mom has this very unique softness to her. My mom has like a grace that is almost like ancient to this world. And this energy feels very much like her. Like it feels very sweet. It feels very comforting. It's like people want to like roll up in your lap or curl up in your lap and just cry. You have this energy that it's beautiful, but you've been blocking it from being its authentic self. So basically, they're showing this. You've been operating as a replica of your true self, pile number 2. And the reason why you're here is to heal and to resolve this, so that you can be the light and the love that is needed in this very dark world. I think those, the wooden fence that's around your heart has been like put up, because that's what they're showing too, is how wood you have to put wood up, and you have to, when you put a wooden fence in the backyard, you have to put it up and kind of anchor it in the ground. And so they're saying that you've put a lot of work into building this fence around your heart. And that's also why they're showing it as like being quilted on your heart. It's almost like you've created this and identified it as beauty, in a sense that we think that these boundaries are beneficial to us. But in reality, this is actually a nuisance. It's actually preventing you from seeing the beauty and everybody else that you have within. So this is how they're showing that. They're showing a fence, and this fence on the other, this fence is in a backyard, right? So there's a backyard fence. On the other side of this fence, there's this beautiful lake and meadows, and there's flowers that are blooming in springtime. So that's the other side of your heart, is this beautiful lake and these meadows, these flowers, these beautiful colors. But you can't see them when you're sitting in the backyard, because when you're inside of your heart, you can only see the fence. And it's because this fence has been put up in order to protect you and to create and establish these pseudo or false senses of like a boundary. But in reality, they're blocking you from being able to authentically be who God created you to be. And the challenge with that is that this is like self-inflicted without realizing it. Okay, so they're saying like initially when the fence was put up, you did it because you thought it was the right thing to do, right? Which is typical for all of us. We don't realize the damage that we're doing until it's brought to our attention, and then we're like, okay, I got it. And so this is also why they say they're asking you to chop the fence down, bulldoze it, whatever you need to do to break it up, because they want you to recognize how you establish that quilted fence around your heart to begin with, so that you don't rebuild it. There's a sense of naivety to your energy, because they're showing me myself. And I'm very naive in a lot of ways, and I've had to learn how to balance that out. When you have a heart that is sincere, that's pure, that's not malicious, not vindictive, it is very easy to be taken for granted and taken advantage of in this world. And I think that those things have happened to you, and they've kind of supported and assisted you in building this fence around your heart to prevent you from being able to see so much beauty within yourself, because of fear of someone coming in and like trampling on that. It's almost like they're showing me this fear of having a plane come and crash in that backyard where that beautiful lake is and the meadow exists. Now, I know that's very dramatic, but that's how dramatic they're saying the extreme energy that you've put into keeping this fence up. The energy that you've put into keeping this fence up has been that extreme. And it's due to that fear. Something very interesting that they're bringing up too is that this could have been something that happened in a past life, or some type of ancestral karma, debt, something like that you could be feeling. Like maybe people in your family were just very kind, very loving, and they were taken for granted, even to the point of being like dismantled, right? So maybe you've learned that kindness doesn't really get you anywhere in life. It just ends up wounding you. And so instead, it's like there's a version of you that reverts to, to the opposite of kindness. And it's in those moments that you're being asked to assess what portion of the fence needs to be chopped down in that moment. Wow, they're giving you advice. I mean, do I need to pull any cards? Godly, they're not even... Okay, anyways, I'm not going to argue with them. They're like, girl, do you want to do what we said? Or, okay, I'm doing what you said. I promise. Yes, Master. I'm just joking, guys. Okay, so, anyways, they're saying that the advice for you... Let me get my mind right. The advice for you is to be attentive to your triggers. If you can visualize, like I'm a visual learner, I'm a seer, obviously, so I see things. They're showing me, like, say, for example, somebody ticks you off in the grocery store. They're saying to assess that situation as if you were a third party watching and observing it, and see what part of the fence is attached to that. And then you'll be able to knock that part of the fence down. Because they're making this very clear, and they were showing this with the sound bowl too, with this being you, that in order for you to be filled up and overflow so that you can give to others, you first have to break down that fence. So imagine this is you, there's a fence around your heart, right? If this is your heart, you got to break the fence down, because you can't, if I try to tune the sound bowl right now with my hands right here, you won't be able to hear anything. Even if I do this, my hands here, if I try to do this, you see? You can't hear anything because there's blockage. Now, when you remove the fence, there's beauty, and it just pours out of you, and it's music to the earth's ears. Everyone that comes in contact with you, pile number 2, gets to experience the blessing and the gift of God. The presence of God is within you. You are the divinity. It's not only within you, it screams out of you. And your team is just asking you to allow yourself to overflow by releasing that fence, that burden of that fence, that guard that is keeping you from being able to sound off in such a magical way. Your energy is insane, okay? Whoever you are, whew, oh my God. It's literally like, okay, so if you've ever gone to church and you've ever like worshipped, or if you've ever had any experience or encounter with like spirit, that's what I'm feeling. Like I literally have like spirit chills. I don't know if you guys can see, I have spirit chills, and I can feel such a light presence, like, and there's this white light which is, you know, full of the energy of spirit and the love of God, and it's just residing like over this entire area. If you only knew what you had within, you would be more than willing to chop that wood down, because you recognize that the people around you, the people you experience and encounter in the store, the people that you encounter at your job, when you go out in the neighborhood for a walk, when you walk the dog at the park, you would recognize that they have an opportunity to experience something that is almost uncommon nowadays. Wow. Pile number 2. I'm sorry, I'm not pulling any more cards for you because they totally gave the entire message. I have to just follow what they give. We are going to look at the guidebook, and I mean, you're like they're just giving me so much information, like channeling so much beauty. You're literally like adorned with these jewels and these like crowned like possessions. I don't know how to even explain this energy, because it is the energy of you. These are not things that are on you. This is you. You're here to be a beacon of love. You're here to heal your heart, your wounds, your emotional wounds, so that you can bubble out love to the rest of the world, so that those raindrops will just kind of reek out of you. You know how you squeeze a washcloth or a towel after you wet it? Imagine saturating a washcloth. This washcloth is going to metaphorically be you. When you're able to chop that wood down, the washcloth is going to be who you become. That's this sound bowl that is overflowing. Water, if I fill this up with water, you're going to just overflow. This is you, right? So with the washcloth, if you take the washcloth and you just squeeze it, every time you squeeze, water is going to come out. That's what you're developing and growing into, is the energy of water, which overflows with love, gentleness, kindness. And everything that has happened in your life has been an attempt to stop you from being able to operate in this overflow. So the reason why you're here is to heal those wounds so that you can stand in your true, authentic power. And a part of that is an acceptance and a recognition of the innocence, the naivety, the tenderness, the gentleness, the peace, the love that you naturally have, and an acceptance of the fact that this has been given to me as a gift. So anything that interferes with it must leave my life. And the challenge with that is accepting that you could be a big part of that. I know for me that was extremely, extremely challenging, guys. Woo! That was the hardest thing to accept, was the fact that I'm in my own way. That I'm the reason why I'm not having and enjoying and living life the way that I desired. And yes, terrible things have happened to me as they've happened to you. But you have the power to be able to shift this around. You know the saying that there's nothing greater in this world than love? If you are love, this should be a flip of a switch for you. And I think what your guides are saying to you in that is that if you do everything through the lens of love, you will recognize that that wood will begin to kind of just break off. They're showing like the weather coming in and just kind of like shifting the wood over like a tornado or something. It's almost like a reverse effect, whereas like if you just begin to operate from a space of love, doing everything through the lens of love, releasing any negative energies, any attachments, any expectations, any ideas and thoughts that you are going to mess up, make a mistake, miss out, like any of the things that we do as humans, right? Like the ego, the fears, the anxiety, the frustration, the just releasing all of those judgments is what I'm hearing. Then you'll begin to see how you can just, they're saying simply, and I don't know, because I've never experienced simple healing, so I don't know, but maybe for you it might be. They're saying it, so it's like it could be an easier way for you to be able to heal, but it's going to involve you operating from a space of love, seeing the world through the lens of love rather than through the lens of hate and what the world has given you. Okay, let's read your card here. We're only going to read this little top section here. I will hold it up, so if you want to take a screenshot, you can. Okay, so the water overflow is about abundance, non-attachment, the paradigm of no scarcity. Wow. Allowing financial and energetic gifts to flow through and create more. Oh my God, pile number 2. Absolutely take a picture of this. I'm going to go to the second page and make sure there's nothing there. So if you want to pause, take a picture, and you can go back and read it. Oh, that's it. It's just the one page. Okay, that's awesome. So pile number 2, man, I'm telling you, this is abundance. I think a lot of people, I'm going to say this real quick. I think a lot of people think that money is abundance. No. If there's anything that we could have in this world that equals abundance, it is this. Being able to overflow in love. Oh my gosh, I don't think you even understand how big of a gift you are, because I think that this has just always been you. And it's kind of like the energy of like, oh, this is just me, so it doesn't really, but no, bro. Oh my God, pile number 2. You have what everybody is searching for. The whole entire world is in need of this. The whole entire world is in need of you. So if not for any other reason, knock that fence down so that the world can be a lot lighter with you in it. All right, pile number 2. I hope this resonates. If so, feel free to drop a comment, like, and subscribe. I do have a ton of readings on healing, and that's like the whole point in this channel, is to help us all to heal through ancestral healing, ancestral karma, so that we can get to the Dharma, which is the good stuff that we've been waiting on. And it sounds like you are on the right path there. Okay, so just keep going. Please, if you want to watch any other videos, feel free to. I think I mentioned to comment if you don't mind, like and subscribe. Thanks for being here. I appreciate your presence, and your energy is phenomenal. Love you. Have a good night. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. If you chose the unique gifts card, this is your reading and the reasons why you're here, or reason why you're here. So immediately, I was picking up on in preparation for your reading, the fact that you're a channeler. There's something that you have. It's an innate knowing, wisdom, knowledge, like ancient knowledge and wisdom that is like specific to the reason why you're here. Okay. You know how some people have like a bunch of things that they can do, and they can do a bunch of things well, right? You could be super creative. You could be super talented in the kitchen. Maybe it's easy for you to lead. Something like that is coming through. However, they're saying that this is something specific to you. Okay, so it's not like all of the things that you can just do well. There's something else embedded within you that is a very specific and unique gift. Like something called out for you. Okay, so hopefully they'll reveal that to us, because that's the reason why we're doing the reading, right? But they're just showing me that there's something very specific, and it's again an ancient wisdom, knowledge, insight, information. They're showing me herbs, so someone may be into like botany, herbalism, ancient medicinal practices, native practices are being shown. So there could be something like that you're interested in. You may have just a natural desire to research how to create natural products. If it doesn't have to do with medicine, to assist and support those in healing, it's something to do with like releasing ailments is what I'm hearing. Okay, so any type of ailments, aches, pains that people may experience, you have a unique gift. It's funny the way that they're showing this to me. They're showing me someone going to a chiropractor, and when you go to a chiropractor, you know, they'll stretch you, they'll crack you, they pop things, and what they're showing is like a humerus, you know, on your leg, so your thigh bone. They're showing that thigh bone and someone taking it and stretching it. But it's like the stretching is done without them actually touching the person. And it supports the healing of that joint. The pain that the person was experiencing in their thigh bone, in that did I say humerus? Because that's your arm. It's the femur. I don't know what I was talking about, guys. Your femur. Did I say femur? I don't know. You may feel like that about your gifts. Like, what the heck? God, like, what is this? Like, I don't even know what to do with this. But it's not crazy for you to see. They're saying see and feel the things that you do. So like they were showing this person, this bone was being stretched, and that's the longest, thickest bone in your body is that makes sense as to why they were showing that, because they're saying that your gifts have the ability to take on the strongest, most sturdy things in life, like the things that you feel are the most challenging, or whatever your giants are. They're showing David and Goliath. So whatever your Goliaths are, whatever the giants are, the giants in your life, your gifts are more powerful than those things. They're saying the reason why the gifts are unique is because they're not gifts that you've seen other people necessarily operate in. So for example, like say for example you're a tarot reader, your tarot readings would not be like anyone else's tarot readings on the internet, on YouTube. It's almost like you have a completely different approach. You have a completely different perspective. You don't see things the way that the traditional tarot readers do. Like when you look at the tower, you see it as, you know, like love bombing, right? Like I'm just thinking of something that typical tarot readers wouldn't think. And I'm using this just as an example, but whatever your gifts are, they are astronomically different than the standard. And sometimes you think that there's something wrong with you. I feel a heaviness in my chest. There's a heaviness and a pressure in my chest. And this is indicative of the fact that you're carrying a weight that is a burden that is not for you to hold. And so I think someone needs to hear this reading so that you understand that your gifts are exactly what they are. They're not awkward, strange, weird, crazy. They're telling me this song, this guy says, if people don't laugh at your dreams, they aren't big enough. And it's like, that's a message for you to take and to remind yourself of frequently, that sometimes the information that you are given, especially when you have a unique gift such as this, something that we can't even really put our hands on it yet. You notice that? Like, I'll just be honest with you, in the other two piles, I think they showed me their gifts like in this card, like immediately. But yours is not something that's surface level. It's not something as simplistic. And I don't want to demean. There's no demeaning or minimizing another gift. There's no weight as to who gifts are greater and, lesser. There's none of that. But what it is that your uniques are your gifts, and the uniqueness of your gifts are absolutely set apart for a specific purpose. And sometimes you have to prepare yourself to be denied before you can prepare yourself to be embraced. Okay, so it's almost like you could be experiencing this phase in your life where you're questioning whether or not you should even be doing these things. Like, am I crazy? Why would someone pay me for this? Why would somebody even need somebody to do this? And why would they believe me? Right? Like, if someone says, I have back pain, and you're like, okay, I can heal that for you. And they're like, how? And you're like, I'm going to release the energy. Okay, this is just an example. I'm going to release the energy in your back and relieve you of the burdens that you're carrying, which are keeping that area congested. Say, for example, you tell someone that and they're like, are you crazy? Girl, ain't no way. Bro, there's no way you can do that. And then you're like, oh my God, like maybe I can't, right? So it's like your gifts require that you have faith in your gifts before you can actually see the fruition of your gifts. Before you can actually see others receive your gift, you have to first go through your gifts being denied, rejected. And this is because you are a channeler. A channeler is one who receives information directly from the divine. So your access to spirit is unique in itself. You have an authority, a spiritual authority, a spiritual position that allows you to be able to access information and wisdom that may not necessarily be typical for others around you. Because of that, it doesn't look like they would expect. It also doesn't look like what you're expecting your gifts to look like. I think you also don't really understand them. And I think that the first thing your team is telling me for sure is they want you to know that that's normal. That's normal to not understand gifts like this. It's normal for you to not even necessarily want to embrace them because they could be even like freaky to you. You're like, oh my God, why am I like this? Why do I see that? Why do I feel that? Like, oh my God, I don't want to be like having these experiences, right? Like it's kind of like your gifts are the gifts that people would see once they realize that they're actually real. They would see them as like, oh my God, I wish I could do that. And you're like, there's a blessing and a curse with this. And most of the time it feels like a curse because the weight of it can be heavy to carry. And anytime you feel yourself carrying the weight of your gifts, that's when Spirit is advising you to release that back to the ethers, release it back to the cosmos, just dump it, literally just do a whoosh and allow it to be released from you, because your gifts are so unique because they don't come from this world. Okay, that's the best way to say it. They don't come from here, wherever here is for you. Okay, these are otherworldly gifts. These are gifts that are not of this place. And so they're not supposed to be understood by people who walk around in this place who have that typical mindset of like a regular human. This is going to sound freaky, but I know you're going to understand this because of your gifts. But you're here on earth to assist by utilizing your gifts. They're showing me a little boy. He's got blonde hair. He's very cute. It's almost like he has like this little like bowl haircut. And he's got like a little weight on him. He's probably about 6, maybe 7. And he's saying, come home. He's saying, come home. That's very interesting. There's something about your gifts that are very childlike. It's almost like your gifts are the access point for others to be able to connect to their inner child. But there's something about releasing of the pain. And even this femur that they keep showing me, like this could be indicative of releasing the weight of the burdens that we carry in our bodies due to inner child wounds. And I don't know if it's that specific. We're going to keep going, but I'm just giving channeled messages. I've done this with the other readings. I like to just give the channeled messages that I'm picking up from the card. And then at the very end, we will go to the guidebook for this specific card and see what we can see. But yeah, there's something about your gifts that are connected to some type of past lives. And that's where the wisdom, the ancient wisdom is coming in. It's almost like you are like reincarnated as like with the memory of the old, but in this new body. It's very interesting. I've never even seen anything like this in a reading, but you have a specific reason for being here. You know how people identify as like star seeds? You would fall in line with that for sure. Because again, you have some type of access to spirit that is not normal, is what I want to say. And in order for you to be given these specific gifts that you had to have gone through hell and overcame it. It's like you had to like have your wings, just metaphorically. They're showing me an eagle who had their wings broken. So it's like you had to have your wings broken and go through intense rehabilitation for you to get to where you are. And now your gifts are allowed to be accessed, and with that you will be able to rehabilitate others. And I don't know if this is physically or if this is spiritually that you're rehabilitating others, but your gifts are connected to some type of rehabilitation of others. Okay, now I'm intrigued. Let's see if I can get this stuff out the way so we can carry on. You're in some type of like in-between phase as well, pile number 3. And I went and grabbed this past life energy oracle deck because I was being told to. Okay, that one wanted to come out. This makes perfect sense. Wow. Wow. All right. So, guys, Look at these cards. You have overworked with out of balance, and you have Archangel Uriel with passion and spirit connections. I'm telling you, you are extremely connected, okay? And they were showing me when I went to go grab this deck that you're kind of like in the in-between phase right now, where you may be recognizing your gifts, trying to sort through them though to figure out exactly what they are, but you haven't quite crossed over to the other side to where they're fully activated. And this has something to do with the fact that right now your energy may be out of balance. Like maybe you've gone through a lot of trauma, chaos, turmoil, and you feel overworked and out of balance right now. And I don't feel like this is necessarily overwork, like I'm working too many hours. It feels like I'm just exhausted. Like you could just go to work from 8 to 12. You could work 4 hours a day. You could work 8 hours a day or more. But it feels like no matter what, you can't seem to recover from where you came from. And for you, your gifts are going to, and I can see this like clear as day, your gifts are going to require that you stay in balance and in harmony within yourself. You're going to be required to have to find some type of, and I'm using the word required very strongly because it's imperative to your gifts. So obviously we all have free will. You can do as you choose. I'm not telling you what to do. What I'm saying is if you want your gifts to operate at their highest capacity, you are going to have to be a clear channel. Meaning you're going to have to put the right things in your body. You're going to have to keep your mind clear. You're going to have to exercise. You're going to have to move the energy that may want to get stuck and trapped in you from channeling out of you. You're going to have to find some way to release any type of clogged pipes. So with that, being imbalanced, being tired, exhausted, depleted, because when you're a channeler, naturally you are going to get tired just from doing the work. So it's going to require that you have better sleep habits, that you meditate more often, and that you stay connected to spirit, stay connected to your guides. Archangel Uriel may be extremely significant for you on your spiritual path. Let's look at the Uriel card right now, just so that I don't forget. I want to just take a look and see. Okay, so I'm going to just hold this up. I'm going to just read this one part here, this karmic shift. Oh, look, Uriel, the angel of poetry, arts, and sciences, brings messages of your past life interests and endeavors. You may have pursued such pastimes as astronomy, biology, or other sciences. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, Uriel is also known as the fire of God, and he often circles the disk of the sun or a flaming sword called the sword of truth. Wow. In this capacity, Uriel petitions you to be honest with yourself about your spiritual life. He is calling you to bring more fire and passion into your spiritual pursuits and to your relationship with all spirits, including your own eternal soul, the angels, and divine consciousness. Wow. I hope you guys can see this to be able to take a screenshot. The karmic shift is some of the most important writing you can do is to keep a journal, exploring and expressing your feelings, cutting away any misinformation from the past, and reawakening to the eternal truth of your soul's beauty and your spiritual connection. Start one now. It brings clarity, inspiration, and direction to your life. Wow. And then down here, I call on Uriel to help ignite my passion and devotion. I receive the endless joys and blessings that come from my loving spiritual connections. Guys, again, this is exactly what I was talking about in regards to you kind of being in between. They were telling me that you were at the in-between phase. And again, bringing yourself back into balance is going to be huge in regards to your gifts and the why you're here. So let's keep going in as to why you're here. One thing, I think I was saying it in group 2, was it? that I love about our guides is that they always will give us advice and assist us so that we don't feel, alone and listen to readings and then we're like, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. One more they said, so they're already showing up to give you advice in regards to how to transmute the energy in order to reach your destiny. Okay. So the first card you have out here is, let me just put this here. Sorry guys, I just set that down. So this is extremism, and this is Mercury in Scorpio. Wow. So Mercury in Scorpio with extremism is the way that you communicate. So this has to do with Mercury is the planet of communication, okay? And it has to do with the way that you communicate. So this would be like Virgo, and typically known as Mercury. Virgo, typically known as Gemini, but it is Virgo energy as well. And so extremism has to, with Scorpio being here, is stating that you may notice that your communication may be either too far left or too far right, okay? Whatever that means for you. I don't want to define it too much because it doesn't seem like it's one specific thing. The example that they did tell me when they were telling me too far left or right was like, maybe you're either too happy and you're communicating, like overly expressing and communicating, oh my God, I love you so much. Oh my God, I love you, love you, love you. Or you're like, oh my God, you're ticked off and you're like, I hate you. You're the worst person ever, right? And this communication is feeling very much so like how you communicate with yourself. Like you could have some extremes that you go into. You're either happy and full of joy, or you're depressed, anxious, and feeling down and out. Okay? And when this happens, you may find yourself communicating with yourself ineffectively. And what they're saying when they say ineffectively is the fact that you're not treating yourself kind enough due to the fact that you're not remembering that you are a channel. Very interesting. So as you channel, they're showing me a channel receives whatever comes to it. So if there's a channel, like a tunnel is open like this tunnel is going to receive whatever I drop in here. So if it's like this, whatever I drop in here is going to be received. It's not going to be rejected because it's open. So you are highly sensitive. With that, there's advice to protect yourself, because the extremes with Scorpio energy can turn detrimental easily. And so they're advising you to be cautious in your, right here, look, discovery of yourself. Look, you have all of these mercurial cards. This is Mercury in Sag. That's crazy. So Mercury in Sagittarius is, Sagittarian energy is optimism. Okay, so combine that with some Gemini and some Virgo. This is going to allow you to be practical and optimist in the way that you think about the possibilities. Okay, this discovery card is asking you to expand what you believe you are by just being optimistic that maybe there's something else accessible and available to you. The reason why you're here is to assist and support others in expanding their ideas, thoughts, perceptions, and the way that they heal. You're also here to assist and support others in releasing the extreme here or here, left or right identities, black or white identities rather, right? They're speaking this very clearly to me, that everything that you have overcome is present to assist you in helping others to overcome it. So when you feel out of balance, you're out of balance because you're a channel to feel and experience these things. For some of you, you may feel often like, why is this so hard for me? Like, why can't I just use my gifts and just be fine, right? Like, why does this seem so challenging for me? You may have like Saturn in Scorpio or something like that. That's coming through. So you can check your chart and see. Or Capricorn and Saturn. I'm feeling a very intense energy in Saturn. And Capricorn and Scorpio to me are intense energies to have in Saturn. They tend to carry a heavy weight because they both have a darker shadow, in my opinion, than a lot of signs. And I'm not saying that all signs have shadow and light. So there's no like this is worse, but Capricorns and Scorpios and Saturn to me are very challenging things to get through. So you may feel like your life has been very challenging and you may be questioning why you're here because it just doesn't seem like things are easing up for you. But the amazing thing is that your gifts are actually making room for you right now. So the reason why you're here is to be exalted. This exaltation card is the moon in Taurus. And the moon in Taurus is about, how can I explain this? It's the 5 of Pentacles energy, guys. It's about lack. It's about carrying shame, guilt, and it's about exhaustion, okay? You are here to transmute this energy into this type of exaltation. You see in this card, it looks nothing like the 5 of Pentacles. This is like the opposite. This would be like the sun. This is fruitful energy. This is exaltation that takes you into a space of being able to receive abundance, to live as an abundant being, to be aligned with prosperity, to be aligned with joy, to be aligned with peace, with rest, with overflow. You're here to transmute all of the negative things that have happened to you into something powerful so that you can assist and support others in their journey so that they too can receive power. There's something about manifestation there, and there's also something about power. You heard how they had me say that power. It's power that you have within you that you hand over due to being disconnected from spirit. And because you have such a close connection with spirit, it's almost like there's nothing that could separate you from spirit at all. There's nothing. And others don't have that. So there's something very unique about your ability to stay connected no matter how out of balance you feel, no matter how stressed out, no matter how extreme you can get, no matter how unoptimistic you feel. Okay, I think that's a word. I'm making it one. But no matter what, you are determined to get to wherever it is that you believe you're supposed to be. And because of that, you're being gifted, not as in these were just given to you, but because of who you are, your gifts were gifted to you with an understanding and a knowing. Wow, look at this. With an understanding and a knowing that you will use these gifts to be able to assist and support others along the path. Look at this, guys. This is crazy. You have this rage card and you see it's right here next to this extremism. I'm telling you, your gifts are overcoming your own challenges so that you can gift those things to others. That's why they were saying earlier that it's something that's unique to you, and also too that it may not be something that other people recognize or will even acknowledge in you, like, oh, okay. You're like, no, I can help you with that. I promise. I've been through it. And they're like, okay, no, I don't need help. But you really can. But you're supposed to just do it for yourself. And as you do it for yourself without an emphasis or thought on others, you're going to recognize that people will automatically just, wow. They just said, we just need you to be you. And you being you, doing what you're doing, will heal others. That's why you're not touching. Hold on, guys. I have to tell you this. This is why when they were showing me that femur bone, and remember I was saying it was like somebody was like healing them without touching them. You don't have to touch or even physically connect to others. Just by being around people, they will heal. based on your healing. That's the caveat. You're here to spread the energy of healing through your ability to channel. Wow. What the heck? What the heck? I'm taking this card because I have to show you this, because this is so significant for you guys. In order for you to be able to maintain this power, this is so important, is that you maintain being centered. You have to. This is what they were speaking of earlier. You have to find balance. You may feel deeply connected to birds, because they were calling out that bird earlier. You may also find yourself feeling enraged when you feel like people don't get you. Or when you feel like your gifts are being overlooked. You may feel like you're being overlooked. You may feel like nobody sees you. But guess what? The people who do, your team, they see you. They see you. Guys, oh my God, pile number 3. I want to scream, but I'm not going to, because I don't want to hurt your ears. Oh my God, guys, I just can't believe this. This is freaking amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm just blown away. I've been blown away by these readings. Like, sometimes they give me topics and I'm like, who wants to? Nobody cares about that. And then I'm just blown away when I do the readings. I'm like, I don't care if they care. I care. This is freaking phenomenal. Like, I want to be able to do these readings. I want to sit here and listen. Like, this is amazing. You're an alchemist, pile number. Oh, it says it right here, bro. I swear. Oh my God. Okay, so recently I was talking to, I don't know who I was talking to. I was talking to somebody and I was like, you know what? Like, when you're reading tarot and you're recording, you like don't really look down. Like, you can shuffle and pull cards. You see them, but you don't see them. I don't know how to explain it. I think you'll understand. This is why I'm telling you the story. You see them, but you don't see them. You don't see them because you're so focused on the messages that you're receiving that I know you understand this. Like, it's like an out-of-body experience. It's something you can't explain. Like, I can't explain to you how I channel. It just comes, and I just get it. And I know you get that too. And so I was saying you're an alchemist without knowing that this freaking card was here. Even after putting it down, I didn't even look at it to think like this is what I'm saying. So anyways, you are an alchemist. You're here to shift the dynamic and the energy of everything that you've gone through. You're here to flip it on its head and to recreate a new experience for yourself that will then kind of bleed into others. Okay? It's almost like a squeezing. Like, as you're being squeezed just by being yourself, you are going to automatically, instantaneously drop that onto others just by being in their presence. So let's start here. The gambler. The light attributes are a willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. Oh my God. We were talking about this earlier. About you sticking to it no matter what anybody has to say, whether they believe it or not, being rejected before you're embraced. This is exactly what this is about. And then the shadow attribute of this is relying on luck rather than hard work. I don't think that you're doing that. However, if you have any Pisces in your chart, watch yourself. You can even look in your chart to find out where your Pisces energy is, but watch yourself with that energy if you have Pisces in a specific area, because with Piscean energy, it does show up with this shadow attribute, relying on luck rather than hard work. Sometimes it's hard for a Pisces to stay focused and committed to things because they're like, oh, I'm bored with this, right? Another thing, in one of the cards, we saw something about passion. Oh, right here in Archangel Uriel, right? So just ensure that you stay connected to your passions. If you stay connected to your passions, you may get burnt out and tired. That just shows that you need a reset. Do something to pause, take a break, Pour into yourself. I'm seeing lots of like baths here. Baths, water, anything that has to do with water. Pouring shower water on you, dousing yourself in the water hose outside. Whatever you need to do, but water is going to be super beneficial to you for cleansing and purifying you, okay? All right. The Deliente. This is about light attributes. Delights in the arts without having to be a professional. Alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. Wow. The shadow attributes are pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. Okay. This is awesome. For some of you, the reason why you're here is to bypass the traditional ways of doing things. For example, say you're an artist, say you're a painter, and typically they're like, well, if you want to be a professional and you want to sell your paintings for $1,000 each, you need to have them in an art gallery. Otherwise, nobody's going to purchase them. Say somebody says that to you, right? Guess what? That's not it. You're alchemizing this. So what's going to happen is whatever you offer, it will be considered professional without needing to be placed in those traditional standard institutions, circumstances, places, things, right? So it's not going to be that. This is why your gifts are unique. They're not supposed to operate in the same way that everyone else who has these similar gifts operates in. And this is, I think, one of the greatest challenges for you. You also, too, they're calling this to my attention. You also, too, may have some type of unique, super crazy power of processing and alchemizing rage. Like maybe you used to get so mad at people. That is like Scorpio energy too. I'm not gonna lie to you, but definitely Scorpio and Saturn too. Where it's just like you just get so enraged. You're just like, ugh. But then you notice once you do what you do best, which is alchemize the energy, now you no longer operate in that space. And then maybe you write a book, self-help guide on how to cleanse yourself of rage and anger. I don't know. It's something crazy though. It's something that like so many people have this issue or these issues. They don't know how to resolve them. And you somehow have this like magic key, like the Disneyland magic key. You have like this magic key. You're the magic key holder. Okay. Pile number 3. And this key unlocks crazy things for people that they're just blown away by the fact that they could have done this so simple by just following what you tell them. Or you just in the room and they're like, dang, oh my God, I feel myself healing. It's something crazy. It's something crazy, 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 crazy. You may be visited frequently by birds. I keep seeing birds in your reading. I keep seeing birds in your reading. So you may frequently be visited by birds as spirit guides, as messengers. When those birds come near you, when you see one, just allow yourself to be open to receive the message. I would not necessarily try to, and they're just telling me this, to identify like, oh, you must be this, that. Just allow the messages that are supposed to come through for you to come through for you because they are channeling to you, those birds that you're seeing. Okay, pile number 3. Alrighty, so the last card here is Alchemist. I can't believe this. Transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. Oh my gosh. No way. Transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. I don't even think I need to explain that. The shadow attributes, misuse of the power and knowledge that come through spiritual practice. Wow. See, the misuse for you is that you don't recognize how powerful your gifts are. And so what ends up happening is you act like you don't have them. And you're only doing that because you just don't want to make it seem like you're just so like, you know, it's almost like you don't know how to like carry or maintain the weight of your gifts. Like maybe you are utilizing them. Maybe people are seeing them, but you're just like, I don't know like how I'm supposed to handle this. I don't know how I'm supposed to handle this, because how do I handle this as a human? That's how it feels. And so you could get frustrated, and that could be where the rage card is coming in. Like, you could get frustrated or overwhelmed by the fact that you have these gifts, and like, oh my God, it's such a heavy burden for me to carry. Look at that, Scorpio. You have Scorpio somewhere in your chart. And then this, look at this. This is okay, hold on. And then look at this. Piscean energy at the bottom of the deck, the moon. Connect with your guides. This is you. But again, this extremism is similar to that escapist on that Pisces card there. I also think that this rage is showing up as this is a part of the imbalance within you that is being healed in order for your channel to open up. Because this is interesting. I don't know if this is even what's happening in this card, but what they're showing me is like, this is you down here, and you get, like, you should be, this should be you, but you're down here because you get covered up by the rage that you feel, by the extreme emotions that you experience. Like, your emotions tend to get out of balance, and that is a challenge to your gifts. It's almost like a blockage or a non-supportive character in a movie. Imagine that, someone who's going against the actual, screenplay, like the script. This fiercely devoted card here with the death card, fiercely devoted, passionate, intense, powerful, loyal, mysterious, deep, ambitious, magnetic, secretive, obsessive, jealous, and competitive. I think that this death card is inviting you to allow the old versions of you, the versions of you that don't allow you to open up and expand with this Sagittarian energy, that don't allow you to actually tangibly experience abundance and prosperity in all areas of life, just by being. When you don't feel those energies exalted, the Scorpio energy is inviting you to go back to your passions and release the things that cause this rage. Rage is like the opposite of this like abundant, joyful energy. It's almost like I want to split this in half and say these cards belong over here. Because alchemy, the Deliante, these cards are all, this is the 6th house, work and health. This would be Virgo energy with the Magician, the Hermit, everyday life matters, your responsibilities, your duties. This is about pouring the right things into yourself to allow yourself to be grounded. Doing things that benefit your physical body so that your spiritual body is also a beneficiary of that. And then allowing yourself to discover and expand beyond where you're at. Something else that they're bringing to my attention is the fact that when I was starting your reading, they told me to get this deck. It's a black and white tarot deck. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Look, I'm going to get just a few cards. But the reason why they wanted me to grab this deck, they were telling me, is because of the fact that you may tend to see things through a black and white lens. You may tend to be very guarded and protective, overly protective of your energy. This rage card here is about, let's look it up, because that has something to do with this. Intensity, trauma, and anxiety. So due to your traumas, you may have extreme, that's the same as like extreme, right? Extremism. So you may, due to your traumas, have the ability to, and this is out of balance, to feel unstable. And you're here to alchemize that energy into more balanced and stable energy. So yes, you have gifts that can operate, through you being balanced in your energy. What they're saying though is that for you right now, the reason why you're here is to heal the imbalances in your life, to bring your life back into balance, to reconnect back to your true self, and to recover from the energies of the moon that you've been through. So you're here to reconnect to your spirit team, to reconnect to the sensitive, compassionate, dreamy, fun-loving, naive sides of yourself, because life has robbed you of that version of you. It's led you to constantly feeling like you need to stand up for yourself, like life is against you, like nothing is going your way. But nothing is going your way because there's an imbalance in just who you are. You see here, even in this card here, this Virgo card here, the 6th house. This is about everyday matters. We talked about this earlier, but you notice that she's in like this pose here. There is absolutely something in regards to centering yourself that is the reason why you're here right now. And like I explained to piles 1 and 2, the reason why you're here can change as you change. So as you expand, elevate, and transcend your current challenges, you're going to notice that the reason why you're here has also shifted and transcended. But right now, you're being asked to simply restore the balance within yourself. Whenever you feel out of balance, you hear the birds chirping, speaking, screaming, whatever they're doing, singing, they're reminding you to rebalance your energy, to come back home, recenter yourself. And you're going to do that through your unique connection to the divine. You guys, you're not going to believe this. Look at this. I'm not going to read this whole thing. I'm only going to read this first section here. But let's look at this, and then I'll hopefully open the book wide enough to where you can screenshot. So if you want to screenshot, feel free to pause, screenshot. Sorry, there's no way for me to get my nails out and hold it. Okay, hopefully you were able to get your screenshot. Look at this unique gifts card. It's about your superpowers, a sense of purpose, the meaning behind your quirks, exploring your interest, shortcomings as unique undiscovered skills. Oh my God, I love it. Pile number 3, this is the reason why you're here. I hope that this makes sense. This is also too about you shifting your perspective. I have to say this, they're telling me it's about you shifting your perspective. If you could shift your perspective, I think you would begin to see how beautiful you really are and how unique the gift of you is to the world around you. There's something about you beating yourself up with that rage energy that's coming through, like feeling inadequate, like you're incapable, like you don't have anything to give, and you have so much to give. It's all a matter of you actually seeing yourself through that lens versus through the lens of your pain. And I think this is beautiful. Take practical approaches, steps, like we talked about, doing things to help center yourself, ground yourself, going on nature walks, hugging trees, standing in the grass barefoot, doing, spiritual practices like sound bowl baths, going to the gym, exercising, working out, running, walking, anything like that's going to be beneficial. Anything that you can that has to do with water, whether it's swimming, just wading in the pool, whatever it is, going to the ocean, going to the lake, going to the river, going to the creek, wherever you can get near water, go and just sit and allow yourself to absorb that energy and release your old energy that keeps you stuck. In addition, releasing the mindset of the I can't, and instead finding your way to optimism where you begin to believe in I can, I will, I am. And trust that where you're going is the right path. Trust that your gifts are going to lead you to your desires. You'll notice this 333 on the clock right now. I think it's time to end the reading, guys. You're heavily supported. Heavily supported. When you feel like you're stuck in this enraged energy, Ask for help. Okay, pile number 3, thanks for sharing your lovely energy. I love you all. Thanks for being here. Feel free to drop a comment, like, and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Have a good night. Bye.